Hey YouTube, thanks for dropping in to check out another Profit Picks episode. Greg here, and in this one, we're going to recap last night's 3-1 night. We're going to take a look at our overall progress, and we're also going to go ahead and dive into tonight's action. But before we do that, if you find this content helpful or you're enjoying it, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and drop some comments below. I would truly appreciate the support. Last night was another good night for us. We go 3-1. We dropped the Bulls bet. It was disappointing to see the Bulls play like that against a team like the Wizards, but hey, it happens, I guess, especially with a team like the Bulls. But yeah, let's move on with the recap. So Jordan Poole over 19.5 points. Poole ends up getting 30 on Chicago. The Bulls aren't a good team defensively, and Poole's a top scorer on with the Wizards, so I just felt like this was a good spot for him. I thought he was going to get at least this 20, and he did so comfortably. He had already cleared this number in 17 out of the last 26 games. And again, heading into a matchup against a Bulls team that virtually has no defense, we pretty much consider this one low-hanging fruit. Next one up, this was a win for us as well. Michael Porter Jr. over the 18.5 points. He ends up getting 21 in just the 24 minutes that he played. This game was a high total, so we felt good about it, at least about Porter getting at least 20. He went over this 20 points in the last 4 out of 5 games. And, the Hawks, they rank in the bottom 5 in terms of total points allowed per game so far this season. So we thought that this would be a good opportunity for him, in which it was. Next one up, we already briefly mentioned. We dropped this one. It was the Bulls minus the 5.5. The Bulls basically have no defense to support a high-powered offense. If the Bulls could just play a lick of defense, they'd probably be at 500, possibly better. But that's simply not the case. The offense itself only dropped 107 on the worst team in the league in terms of points allowed per game, so that didn't help either. So we dropped the one with the Bulls, and then moving on to the Houston Rockets bet minus 5.5 against the Mavericks. We cashed this one. This one was odd to me. I saw a plus 100 on DraftKings, and I had to grab it. It just didn't make sense to me. I mean, if the Mavs are a full go, meaning Doncic is there, Lively ended up playing, but even at this point when I placed the bet, he was still questionable, and Najee Marshall was still out, which is a good large piece off the bench. I just couldn't get there. I feel like with all those pieces there, this is pretty much a 50-50 game, and it's not the case, though. Without those pieces, the Rockets being at home, and the Rockets are good against the spread, I just couldn't get there. So, honestly, I felt like Houston's defense might have been a little underrated in this one. But hey, we lay the 5.5 with the Rockets, and we get the plus money. Right, so just we'll take a quick review of our progress. Last night, of course, we go 3-1, bringing us to a total record of 25-11. We have a slight uptick in our win average here, win rate, which is at 69% now, up from 68 something it was yesterday. Total gain is 11 units, so looking great. Again, I believe out of all the nights that we've had, I think we've done this for 10 nights so far. We've only had one red night. So the aim is always to win as much as possible, so let's keep it moving along. All right, so the first bet of the night here for us at Profit Picks, we're going to lay the 4 points with the Boston Celtics. We weren't able to get the minus 3.5, and I doubt anyone will be at this point. The line has moved to minus 4.5, actually. So we're taking the minus 4 with Boston. Minnesota, they're a good team defensively, but their record shows that they're above average at best, in my opinion, and I'm sure by most people's standards they're probably considered mediocre, because that's what I consider them. For me, it doesn't really go deeper than that, right? The Celtics, they're a great team. I know they lost the last 5 out of 10, and they might be missing some pieces tonight, but for me, I think they have enough pieces on that bench. Should Brown and Porzingis both miss, I think they still have enough pieces on that bench to come in and fill the void enough, at least, to beat the Timberwolves by 4 points here. The Timberwolves, they are 4-11 against the number at home. That's the worst in the league, and so I have no faith in them covering this here. So it's really a combination of both. I have faith in the Celtics being able to pull this off because I consider them a great team, and it's a fate of the Timberwolves because I do not think that they're capable of staying within 4 points of a great team. So I understand in their last matchup, the Celtics only won by 2, but I just think here this is going to be one of those games where the Celtics really, pull past them and keep a strong lead. And yeah, so I'm going to lay the 4 points. Second one of the night here. We're back on Giannis over the 29.5 points versus Brooklyn. Giannis has hit this number in 18 out of 25 games that he started this year. The Nets are middle of the road defense against the position. They're not great. They're not horrible. But really, I don't think those considerations really matter a whole lot when we're talking about a player like Giannis that's elite level. The only thing I really see keeping him under 30 in this game is the blowout factor. The books do have the Bucks at -14 in this one, so there is a chance that the starters get benched or the bench gets more playing time than usual, perhaps. But in the last game, he got the 30, and the thing is for me is he was off to a very slow start, only getting 4 points, I believe it was, in the first half, and then coming away with 26 in the second. Here, I think it's going to be a little bit more balanced against this Nets team, so I feel pretty good about him getting this 30 tonight. Next one up for us is a prop in the same game, and we're back on Cam Thomas, actually, over the 19.5 points. He put up over 30 points in the last game against the Bucks. They struggle against position, and he has cleared this number about 60% of the season. More recently, he has gone over this number the last 3 out of 5. And another thing is he was on rest yesterday for some injury maintenance for that hamstring. So hopefully, he came out of the game a little bit early against Orlando, halfway through the fourth quarter. Ultimately, only played, I want to say, 24 minutes or something like that. So what I'm hoping here is he sees similar or greater action, which, again, in the last one, even in that game, he ended up putting up, I think, 24 or 25 points, something like that. So, hopefully he sees the same amount or greater amount of time, and if he does, I think he'll get over that 19.5, no problem. So we're feeling pretty good about this. Final one for tonight, but of course, as always, be on the lookout in the comments for any potential changes or additions. I do throw those in there as things change in the league throughout the day. So, just a reminder about that. But yeah, for the last one, we're on Derek White over the 15.5 points again. He's cleared this number in the last 4 out of 5 games. Also, I think that, this game will be close enough to where Derek isn't going to miss any playing time due to a blowout factor or anything like that. They were on rest yesterday, basically, and the game before that, they absolutely demolished the Raptors, and I think Derek White played a total of 27 minutes, so he should be pretty fresh here, pretty ready to go. If this game is competitive, as a lot of people expect it to be, I feel like he's going to go ahead and get his points. I like the chances of him seeing 33 or more to add to that, 33 or more minutes, I should say, and that's at or above his average. So what that means basically is when we dive into those numbers, White has went over the 15.5 points in 14 out of the 22 games that he's played 33 or more minutes in. So we're feeling pretty good about this one. It's that time again, and I got to head out. If you've enjoyed this content or you find it helpful, please do not forget to like, subscribe, drop some comments below. I provide these picks free of charge, and all I ask of you is that you support me in my endeavor to help grow this channel, which is free of charge to you. So, whatever you're betting today, good luck. Please do so responsibly. Take care, and I'll check you in the next one.